Hey guys, it's your boy here, TimebombX94, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys off one of my most powerful strand builds for the warlock, utilising necrotic grips. So I'm just going to, I've pre-recorded the video, so I'm just going to go through this video and explain how to put it all together. So let's get it up. Right, so the testing in this was the first ogre in the Grasp of Avarice boss, so let's just skip all the way to the damage phase. So I had my friend here, Swifty, just only debuffing the ogre. I was doing all the DPS to show you guys how to do it all. So before this starts, I always shoot a Wither Horde shot, followed up with a poison dart, obviously because I'm using necrotic grips. Swap to a fusion rifle, get some shots off, and then I have a bait and switch rocket launcher, which is the Apex Predator, and you'll just see how all this plays out. So as you can see, nearly a one phase of just myself using this build. Imagine what this could do if you are paired with a full team. So if you look at the damage numbers, like I said, I've had Swifted just purely using tractor cannon, and you can see how much I did nearly 3 mil just on my own. So I'm going to go through this build now with you guys, and we'll talk from there. Hey guys, and welcome back. So these are the weapons I was using. I'm just going to go over the weapons first. So obviously with the Horde is a must because it continuously does the like the tick damage, which is perfect because as soon as you've swapped from Wither Horde to a Cartesian, and then to the Apex Predator, which is using bait and switch. If you don't know what bait and switch does, it gives you increased damage for about 10 seconds. It's really, really good. If you have a other rocket launcher that has bait and switch, by all means use it. As long as you've matched the surges to the weapon that you are using. So here we have my build. So heavy ammo finder, always handy to have, just while you're getting up to the damage phase. I find this build is a bit of a mix between basically getting up to a damage phase, so you do all the stuff in between, all the other tedious little mechanics. I do have builds just purely for DPS, but you'd have to switch to those builds just before damage phase. But I like this because it's all in one. Obviously a heavy ammo finder, kinetic siphon. You can swap that out for something else if you wanted to. It's not always necessary. And then obviously a heavy ammo scout finder. Now the rest of the mods really make this build pop. So obviously a fastball. It's awesome to get that grenade off. Throw it to a longer distance, increase distance. Now this one, solar dexterity. This is what's going to help you swap to your weapons faster. Again, for me, I'm using a solar fusion rifle and I'm using a solar rocket launcher, so my mods are going to be revolving around like solar stuff. So that's where solar dexterity comes into play. Again, you can take fastball off if you wanted to, but I wouldn't recommend because it helps getting that little bit extra DPS off onto a boss. Focus and strike. So just before well, halfway through like the damage that you are doing, what you can do, obviously, when you throw one of those poison darts and you're continuously rotating through your weapons, what you can do, if the damage phase is long enough, pop your rift down. You're going to get 3 more little hatchlings. I think they're called hatchlings. They're also going to do more DPS to the boss, and obviously in doing so you're going to get more melee energy. Oh, no, sorry, yeah, sorry, my bad, I've just read that wrong. So grants class ability energy when you cause damage with a melee. So yeah, as long as you're continuously like poison darting, you're going to get your class ability even more, well, faster. Pop that rift down, get 3 more hatchlings, and just rotate through the cycle. So for the chest piece, it's entirely up to personal preference for this, because I like to I always on all my builds I always have arc resistance, because I feel like there's more enemies in the game that deal arc damage than any other. Obviously concussive dampener speaks for itself, doesn't it? So, and solar resistance. During that fight, I realised that there were no solar enemies. I could have easily swapped that off and put void resistance on, given that the boss deals void damage. Now the next 2 mods, solar weapon surges. If you have like better armor stats and you are able to utilise more resilience, more recovery, more discipline over anything else, you can add a 3rd solar surge mod, which is going to help more with the DPS. It stacks up. Now for the class item, I have 2 time dilations. The more I prefer to have 2 more than 1. It just makes sure that your armor charges last longer. And outreach reduces melee cooldown when using your class ability. Again, that also ties into focusing strike. So if you can keep those 2 playing off each other, you're going to be getting more melee and more rift energy. So we'll go on to the subclass now. This is what I use. Threadlings, sorry, not hatchlings, they're called threadlings. So always use them, just more DPS in my opinion. And the arcane needle, which you can't switch off anyway. So pair that with necrotic grip, so you're going to be doing tick damage as well as so you're going to be doing poison damage as well as the damage from Witherhoard as well. Mind Spun, I always use that. I'm not too sure why, but enhanced functionality. Weaver's Call. I mean, there is another aspect that you could use that revolve around tangles and Weave Walk. I've never done Weave Walk. I don't think it really matters or is really needed for the damage phases. I think it's just a get out of jail free card. So again, just use Weaver's Call and Mind Spun. Invocation. Now, fragments. Activating your grenade ability to reload to your equipped weapon. So, as you saw in the video, once I shot my Witherhoard, shot a fusion rifle shot, and then swapped to my rocket, I used the 2 rockets from Apex Predator because it's got reconstruction. Once I shoot the 2 shots, I throw my grenade, and then I can shoot again straight after. Thread of evolution. So your threadlings that you throw from your grenade and cast from your rift deal more damage. Thread of generation, dealing damage generates grenade energy. Always a must-have on a build. And thread of continuity. Suspend, unravel, and sever targets have increased duration. You could swap this one off if you wanted to. I'm just trying to think what you could swap that off for. Super final blows, I mean, you can, but obviously if you're using your super on a boss, it's not going to count as a final blow because the target has not died. You could have Thread of Insulation. What do I have here? Because you're not suspending, you're not unraveling, and you're not severing really. So unless the melee counts as a sever, but you could have isolation. Now this, you could also have this one on. So if you are, if you have like a strand rocket launcher, which there is a new one this season. Let me just transfer that over. So if we go here, apparently this rocket really does hurt. So you could, if you wanted to, you could use this rocket instead, and just make sure that your mods revolve around strand. Unfortunately, there isn't a strand fusion rifle. There is. It's a primary strand fusion rifle, but there isn't a energy strand fusion rifle as of yet. So what I would do is just change your weapon surges to match strand for the propagation. You know, just to get a bit more. But again, it's final blow, melee final blows. So it's not really needed. Again, strand final blows. When you're dealing damage to a boss, it's not going to be counting as a final blow. But all in all, this is my my favourite strand build. I mean, there are better strand builds out there, but this one works for me. I always do a lot of damage. You see, when I'm using this build on a boss, it works on any raid boss apart from Oryx, because it's too far away. Unless you are doing damage closer to him, which is not a popular strategy. But yeah, all in all, this is my strand warlock build. If you have any questions or anything like that, by all means, put a comment down below. One last thing before I go, I'm just going to tell you the rotation again on how to use these weapons. So what I tend to do, I shoot my with a horde, I melee, I super, then I switch to my fusion, then my rocket, shoot the rockets off, grenade, shoot another rocket off, back to with a horde, back to fusion rifle, and keep going. Just keep swapping between your weapons until you get your grenade energy back again. Once you've got your grenade energy back, make sure that you with horde, fusion, and proc bait and switch from your rocket, and then grenade, and then rocket again. So yeah, this is my strand build. Thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.